Thinking about the video I released and thinking about that video that I watched on YouTube with Stephanie P. Smith talking about this lady named Raquel. I remember I recorded a video back in like 2023, I think, or the very beginning of 2024, talking about my old neighborhood. And I said there's some type of lot going on because the way I communicate with God is never just the same exact way. So there's been times I said prayers and I was just waiting and being patient, trying to figure out what was going on. But I think I spoke with this one girl way back in the day in our old neighborhood that a childhood friend of mine named Lando used to talk to, this girl named Raquel. And I think she had a cousin or a homegirl named Portia or something like that. But I never did anything with either one of those ladies, you know what I'm saying? Nah, plenty of niggas in my old neighborhood, they got their own personal stories about those girls, like, or, you know, the niggas that they hung out with and you know, they homegirls, you know, those girls homegirls, but I never did anything with them. And I think I said that back in like 2023 or early 2024. So I don't know what's all going on, but I had a vision or a dream. I would say I walked into the liquor store on Granville and Schoolcraft, and I saw this dude named Bullows that, you know, everybody knew around the way. And he would just ask me like, yeah, man, I heard about that shit. I heard about that shit you got into it. Or I heard they was like doing some bullshit, or like somebody was trying to like manipulate you or mock you or something like that. And I don't know if he was referring to like something that happened while I was in Cali. I just remember him like in this dream, he was just telling me like, yeah, man, I heard about that. Like I heard about like how they was trying to play you. And I walked into the liquor store, the corner store on Granville and Schoolcraft, and I saw Lando, and he looked like real tired. His eyes was low, and he had, I'm trying to figure this part of the dream out. He had his hair like in the stocking cap, like dreads, like kind of sort of how like mine was. He was like, fool. Like he just nodded his head to me like, hey, like fool, you know what I mean? But he looked like he was real sad. The whole time I was in Michigan, I reached out to that nigga. That nigga ain't say nothing. I even told that some of the niggas that we hung out with, Jock and Quan, you know what I'm saying? Those the main people I talked to Jock through FaceTime, and I talked to Quan actually in person. I talked to both of these niggas, and they both was telling me they don't really know what's going on with Lando. So, man, it ain't no secret about what I've been talking about and all this crazy shit that's been going on in my life. I feel like people know, but man, look, I'm gonna just put God first and go with that. I'm not about to be focused on what a whole bunch of other niggas thinking about. I got way more of a focus on my family and my life. You know what I'm saying? Mainly specifically, like, you know, my nieces, and that's like, I mean, I got way more of a focus on stuff that's just like more so priorities. That's why as of lately I kind of sort of been in deep thought about even that, you know, but hey, you know, I talked to my bro, I talked to my, you know, my cousin Deshaun. So all I can do is just try to figure out what God is telling me to do, you know, for me. But I gotta figure out what I gotta do. I'm doing what I gotta do for me first. And still to this day, I'll be thinking like, did some type of lie get told in Detroit back in the day about that girl, or something scandalous happened way back in the day and it followed, and people chose to just let a lie build up. But that girl, like, I was just sitting here, like, I just got done watching this movie, and this girl in our old neighborhood, you know, way back in the day, Lando told me a story about how he did something with that girl back in like 04 or something like that, or the beginning of 05, like probably like January, February 05 or some shit like that. And there's no way a child, even if some type of lie got told, there's no way that some type of a childhood lie could follow me to this day and be some type of a ruin on me. What I mean by that is, if somebody has went out their way to lie on me, to frame me, to sabotage me, and they trying to balance their intentions on some shit that was said about me when I was a teenager or even in my 20s, that mean they just looking for a reason. They just want an excuse to basically explain to a whole bunch of other people why they feel some type of way about me, because when people try to give their own self a reason to do something foul, they don't really have to lie to themselves. They could just keep that, secret in within themselves and just look at me and say, I don't like that nigga AJ. I don't like that nigga just because I don't like that nigga. But when I'm around my friends, when I'm around my peoples, or when I'm around these ladies, I gotta make it look like it's a reason. It's a reason why I don't like this nigga AJ. So I'm gonna say, oh, I heard this nigga was fucking with some lady back in the day and he slapped her up, or I heard that this nigga was messing with some lady that was under the age of 18, and then that would be a bold-faced lie, and they know it would be a bold-faced lie. So what they would do is they'll try to repeat the same exact thing that was said about me in the past to try to furthermore justify their hatred and their jealousy. You got to observe people who literally break their hatred and jealousy down to a philosophical game plan like that. Anytime somebody is literally observing you like that to the point where they will actually plot and premeditate how they go stage a scenery and make it look like you talking to some lady you're not talking to, or even worse, make it look like you talking to a man or something like that, try to frame you and make you look gay, or even worse, frame you by putting poison in your food, waiting for you to go into a deep state of unconsciousness that be unresponsive, because when you go to sleep, whatever they put in your food kicks in and it activates some unconsciousness inside of your brain, and then you be completely unresponsive, and somebody could record you or take a picture while you sleep, put you on Snapchat, frame you, sabotage you, even worse, take your sperm, rape you, get you ejaculate or something like that, take your sperm, give it to somebody else, and then make up a lie, and the rest, it would just be a living hell for you, because you wouldn't know it when you wake up. You'll wake up just feeling like you rested well, feeling like you was in a deep sleep, but you wouldn't know that you got lied on or you got framed or sabotaged. But it's like when your brain is always like, it's like your mind got a mind of its own. So it's been times, how you be asleep and then you be so much into a deep sleep, you really don't remember what was going on, but you still remember like little bits and pieces of when you were asleep, what was going on around you. It's like you go to sleep and then you wake up, you be like, hey, did you ask that one person what time it was? And they be like, yeah, how do you know that? You was asleep. It's like your brain still like can record stuff and memorize things even while you unconscious. And that's why I said when I was in my auntie crib at the Regal Towers, it's like I was asleep, but I feel like somebody was shaking my shirt at light, and I felt like my head was like hitting the pillow. And I feel like somebody was like, I thought I was dreaming about somebody saying, wake up. But then when I woke up, I talked to my auntie and my cousin. They told me, no, ain't nobody come in this apartment. Ain't nobody try to make me wake up. They told me ain't nobody try to wasn't nobody shaking my shirt. But this has been something that's been ongoing for a long time. So somebody that's just looking from the outside in, they're not gonna believe that somebody else got that kind of malice toward me. They wouldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's some nigga out here that's hating on me, but that nigga out here who's hating on me, he's not gonna come and talk to me directly, because I'm not saying that he a bitch and he's scared. I'm saying that if he came and talked to me, then it would no longer be some type of a conflict. You know what I'm saying? So some people would look